Hello, everybody. Sis here. How are you all? We're here to talk to Shaun Craike, and by we, I mean Lee Chalker and Mr. Plow, aka Spedsy, aka Rob Lyle.
That name again is Mr. Plow. I had chicken sausages for dinner. They were disgusting. I think if I fall over and die during this little stream, don't call an ambulance, call the police. My wife is poisoning me. Right. What are we here to do tonight, fellas?
We are here for Shaun Craike to introduce this book to us, and where he's going to be, the word has escaped my mind, launch it. And we'll show the full cover there.
Oh, yeah.
That's a beauty. Big wraparound.
Get some glare off it. There we go.
Look at that.
The pretty one.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little credit goes to Spedsy as well, just for coloring it for me.
Yeah,
that was a joy. Thanks for the opportunity to do so. What's the deal with BladeWhip? Can you give us a little rundown of the book itself?
Well, the basic thing is this, like, it's just about this character, like, just on her little missions, so to speak, in the odd warped future of the world. So the character is actually like a space merc, or like probably like a future warrior, I suppose, like where they're kind of like keepers of the peace, I suppose, like after.
Oh,
I'll probably just set the whole thing up a bit more better. Like I'll say, like it's set after the Third World War, First Nuclear War. Like 50 years, so the world is actually being rebuilt, but it's also like the technology we're finally able to like reach other star systems, like just the closest ones, and to start to colonize that. But there's still like a bit of chaos going around, like with the post-war kind of stuff. So you got space mercs around, like working for like certain government agencies or like private places, doing private jobs and that, just like kind of like keeping the peace, and just like if there's any threats or like any disputes, they just go and just pretty much just like settle it. And it pretty much just focuses on this main character here. So like if there's a bit of interest around, I'll keep working with it, because like I've actually like I've done loads of notes when I was like working with it, and it says I've already like got like 3 stories with it so far, and I'm actually like thumbnailing like one right now.
So it's got your attention, this character. This character's got you, mate. The character's got you. Like you're already world building.
In a way, yeah. Well, it originally actually was for this manga anthology that was set in Melbourne, G'day Punch, which they contacted me and they asked like if I can contribute to their anthology, and I went, yeah, okay, I'll do it. And I'm just like, okay, what can I do? And the character actually just came from a geek poster I did ages ago. So just...
What size are those pages there?
This one here.
Holy
so
moly.
It just came out of nowhere. I just made this thing up on the spot. So when I saw it, I was like, yeah, I'll just choose this character. and see how
Cool.
it goes. And
Yeah, that's
unfortunately, like they Punch, like after 4 issues, just stopped and just disappeared. I just couldn't get in contact with them, or just
Bummer.
again. And so, and I was actually pretty close to like chucking it to the bin because it's like I just think there's not much point. But thanks to you, Sizzle, and Nick Cleary and Ryan Bella, you convinced me. It's like, no, keep it going. Like, finish it. And it's just like, yeah, like I've done a fair bit of work to it. It's just like I'd hate to see it go to waste.
Well, man, I'd like to congratulate you on it because, like, I'd see you popping artwork up on Facebook and the socials all the time, man, and you're busy like working and painting and stuff, and you must be super proud, man, to be able to have it now done. Given the fact that you've already, you started it and you're already talking about the ups and downs of how you've got here. At this particular point, what were you feeling? I love asking this question to people, man. What did you feel when you got that box of comics, man, delivered to your door? How were you feeling that day?
Relief. Probably just relief, just because like it took a very long time to do. Because unlike the professionals in America and Japan, like you got your assistants and that, and then you can just get one out in a month. Like this probably took me 18 months, probably all up. But that's just because like I work full time as well. Like if I wasn't working, I probably would have had it in 3 months. But like this doesn't just unfortunately doesn't pay the bills.
Yep.
So it's pretty much like out of like love and hoping to achieve something.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned Japan. Unfortunately, the book printed back to front. I don't know if you guys know that, which actually is not an accident. That's you wearing your influences on your sleeve. Can you speak to us a little bit about what you read and what sort of influences your art, and sort of what sort of category you might put BladeWhip in?
Well, it actually was going with G'day Punch's standards. Like you could go like just normal English way or the Japanese way, but it's like no, I'll just go the Japanese way. And yeah, so I'm definitely I'm definitely a manga reader mostly a lot. Like I do read Western comics here and there, probably a lot less these days.
Yeah.
Unless like you go to Kickstarter, and like that's probably the best place to go for decent Western comics, I suppose.
What are you reading right now?
Well, God, there's a bunch of them. Like I just went through the Spriggan. That's like 3 volumes in one. They've re-released it. Like I just finished it today. Coming back on the bus. Like no, I'm like reading like some classic stuff. Fist of the North Star. Like I just reread Biomega. I'm reading Chainsaw Man. Like like I even pulled out Domu. Like pre-Akira. Like the manga collection is pretty damn huge.
Yeah. We were just having a talk before too, and obviously you've discovered Evangelion of late, and we were having a little yarn about some anime stuff too, and that obviously plays a bit of an influence.
I just never got around to watching it.
Yeah. But you're firmly planted in that zone of comic books, man. Which I can see that in your artwork, man. Like because I've got a thing for detail, Shaun, and you're super detailed, man. And You know, like that sort of thing takes a lot of thought and a lot of time, mate. So, how long? You know, I mean, this is a question a lot of people ask me. You may have a different answer. How long would you think that a page would take you, mate? You know, you were talking about you work full time, and you know, like you got to juggle. You'd have a family, and I know you've got a cat, at least one of them. And I'm right. Well, you got two. Oh, and, you know, and you know. You know,
Well,
like
they're actually my partner's cats, but you know, I've adopted them into my place as well.
yeah.
And I do love the cats as well. I gotta keep reminding my partner that quite a fair bit.
Do you find that when the cats need you, they have a habit of sitting on the page that you're working on and not removing themselves, mate?
No, the cats actually avoid me a fair bit. Like they just go around, just like they'll probably just go on the balcony and just like sit in the sun for most of the day, and then go on their little spots. You know, like they'll crawl in the bed.
Yeah. My cat.
Sorry, I was just going to say
they're pretty much rescue cats, so like they're still kind of, you know, a bit wary with people, especially with visitors. But like with me now, like they have gotten a lot more used to me better now than like 2 years ago when I first met my partner.
No, I just wanted to circle back to Lee's question about your how long it takes you to work on a page, and you know, mentioning detail, and then you showed us a quick glimpse of that portfolio thing you got there. Are you working on A2 pages?
A3 actually.
A3. Oh, it's just
yeah. No, I've always worked on A3.
Large. Maybe
like,
the offset.
I do have an A2 folder. Like I might work on that one day, or pretty much if I do one of those double page spreads, I'll probably use that.
Mm-hmm.
I like A3 too, Shaun. A3's the go, mate. See, Rob just got a bit bedazzled by the page, you know, like
I look bigger than A3 too.
So it's
yeah. So just referring back to the question, it kind of rusts. Like when I on my days off and I'm just working on it, it probably takes me like a day. To complete the page traditionally. Then of course, like I'll probably have to go to like a print shop or Officeworks and just like shrink it down so I can put it into my computer, and then it'll probably take me either half a day or a full day to with the Photoshop. Just like, you know, brighten the blacks and put in all the gray scaling and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. No,
so
that's
probably all up, probably like a day and a half.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
To have a fully complete page.
Yeah, no, that's mate. Now you know I'm mates with like Ryan Vella, the same as you, and Ryan was telling me a story once upon a time, and I hope I remember this now that I've brought it up. But you've also known him a very long time. You two used to live together back in the day, back in Mackay, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right. Twice, actually.
Yeah.
No, like
what did you think? What was it like living with the two of you comic creators, mate? Did you have like you know, like many ideas that you know, like were thrown around that household, or the two households? Was it that journey?
Well, back then, like I was still trying to find my feet, I suppose. Like Ryan Vella, pretty much like when I met him, was actually through a music ad, and he was looking for a drummer, so I just answered it, and then like, you know, I ended up going to his place in Plaistow, like back when they had a sugarcane farm.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I got the jam and that, and then like, you know, like hanging about, and then I just see like he's got a comic book collection, and I'm just like, oh yeah, you in the comics and that, and he goes, yeah, like I like a this and that, and I was saying, oh, so you know who Frank Miller is, and he's like, yeah, like you know who he is too. It's like, yeah. So he's like, oh, so he ends up saying, so you know this guy and this guy. I go like, no, not really. I'm into these other comics and that. we ended up kicking it off pretty much after that. You know, even though like he was the 80s superheroes raised in that. Like I was actually raised like through science fiction comics, like back in the 90s. Like they had Aliens comics, they had Predator comics, Star Wars. Even that I was even getting like X-Files. Back at the time when it first released. Like it was actually that stuff that actually got me into comics. Then a little later on, like there was talk about Ghost in the Shell. And it took me a while to actually chase that down, but I ended up getting that. And then, yeah, all the Japanese stuff, like I was really much more into that than the big two. Because I was actually just like I was very fascinated with how they not just like with the big eyes and you know pretty much these spank chicks and shit, but just like how they did the stories and that, and it's just like it was actually quick, like the fights were great, or you know the conflict and all that, and then they still had like different little subjects in that, like there was some wit behind it, and yeah, it's just I just haven't really like stopped reading the manga stuff ever since. So like,
okay, cool.
Don't get me wrong, like there are some little Western stuff that I've gotten into thanks to Ryan Vella at the time. Like he introduced me to like Preacher, and he actually also got me more into like artists and writers as well. So like, but no, like despite me and Ryan like being in different schools, like we're still like pretty good like creative friends and that, and like we kind of feed off each other. Of course, like Ryan just does his stuff a lot more quicker than I do.
Yeah, Ryan's a bit of a machine.
Well, most of these comics I've done just on an A4 sketch pad, like, well, most of them back at the time too. It was just so easy for me. I used to really struggle really hard trying to do that, but then like after all, I was just like, I might as well just try it on A3, and then it's like it was just so much better for me.
Yeah. No, I like the A3 too, mate. I don't know why. I don't really draw on anything else myself, so I can definitely understand the attraction to that, the bigger page. Yeah. No, I asked that because he also said to me once that, and this is what made me take notice of you as well, man, is like he said he puts a lot of work like into trying to get better and stuff. And I can appreciate that, like determination and drive in anyone, man, like wanting to get better at their craft and stuff, man. And I can definitely say that, since I've been watching you, man, and what you're posting and stuff like that, you most certainly are getting better and better, man. So I can see that you're putting a lot of practice in. So good on you for that, especially with, you know, family and, you know, like work and full time and things like that, you know.
Yeah.
Well, the way I just think like with you know, with my work, it's just like, you know, just which I probably recommend to anybody that's starting or anything, just do it and just have a good look at it. Like, you know, especially like you just do your first comic, have a look at it, and it's like, okay, I've done my first comic. Now the next thing I do, pretty much see if I can do a lot better, try to outdo myself. And that's just my mentality. So pretty much this is the new bar for me. So probably the next comic I do, which should probably be the next BladeWhip. Or, you know, like
cool.
I've got a couple of other projects I'd like to do, but probably BladeWhip will be the main concentration at the moment. But yeah, just push yourself to do better.
Yeah. No, well, mate, that's I guess that's the person you got to compete with the most is yourself to improve and stuff. You know, you know, everyone that's an artist is their own worst critic.
Yeah,
And
but there's also like the great Salvador Dali did say like never try to reach perfection because you'll never make it. Which is
oh man,
yeah, that's kind
man,
of
you'll be
true.
searching for that thing forever. I tell you, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
it doesn't exist. But no, mate, can I? Look, mate, can you you got some other drawing pads down there. If it's not too much of a trouble, would you be able to like show us a few more pieces, man, from that portfolio thing, or what you got
Well,
there?
it's just mainly BladeWhip, but I do have some sketches here, just like the pre-production stuff I got here, just like doing some character designs, so to speak. Because like that was actually a first for me actually doing this. Like when I was actually doing Zenyaku, like I didn't do any like pre-production sketches or anything. I just hit the ground running, and I just ran into heaps of problems.
Yeah.
After that, like, but that was like Zenyaku was such a learn as I went along with it. Because like when I did the second chapter, that's when I finally did some character designs. They were pretty simple and crappy, but you know it was something I could refer to.
Yep.
And I also started like properly looking at comics back at the time. Like started taking notice of like, yeah, I need to add shadow in that just to give it more of that 3D look, and actually started like looking up clothes properly, and actually looking up like real life poses, and like especially when you just got the internet, all you gotta do is just click on it, just look for just looking for some pictures of New York City because that's where it was sit in. So
Well, mate, I'll just let you know that your picture's gone a little bit like a little bit fuzzy is probably understating the fact. It's quite pixelated, so until it clears up, we won't be able to see any images. But we're going to keep talking to you because you're coming through loud and clear, bud. So
yeah, so can you see that a bit better?
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, I can see it as well.
And that's what
You're going fuzzy, Lee.
maybe it's me. Oh,
It's the beard interference.
well, it was all that dancing that happened with that funky music at the start. My glasses shot off, mate. So maybe everything is clear as a picture. And I've gone back to 2005 or something.
Shaun, why don't you tell us a little bit more about your lead character there, like her name and what makes her special? Firstly, kudos on the name BladeWhip. It's like those old school names like Blood Sword and stuff. It's like, yeah, never heard BladeWhip. It's a good one. So
well, that one was just made it up on the spot, you know, just like, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, and so she's
know,
got a
like,
wicked.
I just couldn't think of any other name really for that character. But no, like at the start, it was just meant to be a just a one-shot story, and the first draft was going to be just like a just a hit and run kind of mission. But then it's just like, you know, like that's just pretty dull. Like I ended up making it previous just to give us like some purpose and a bit more story to it. And of course later on after the G'day Punch folded, like I ended up having to change the end of that story just to make it like continue on, or you know, like leave it open for other stories. But really, like the character's real name's actually Elvie O'Connor, so like it's Irish because I actually do have some Irish blood, so to speak. Like there is a clan of Craike in Ireland and Scotland.
Okay.
And and it's pretty much like she's pretty much second in command of the of her little platoon, who's actually our family members as well. So she's got 2 brothers and 2 cousins, and well, you know, like her and the brothers are Catholics, the other 2 are Protestants, but you know, they don't really like care too much. Like they just keep their faith to themselves. But you know, it's pretty much kind of her like probably like learning more of like being a leader. Like she has a bit of a mother kind of mentality, just you know, a bit of a strict but fair kind of thing. Like dealing with her other siblings. Like the oldest one, like it's jumps just back. Like, yeah.
Are you able to bring it up a little bit closer?
Yeah, bring it up. Yeah.
Can you bring it up closer to the camera, Shaun, so people can get an idea of what the art looks like in the book?
Yeah. So like yeah, like that's the older brother, Hammerbox. He's like the strict, you know, like the drill sergeant. So he's a bit of a hard bastard. And that's I forget the pronunciation right, Falchin. That's the younger brother. And he's kind of like more like the dedicated servant type guy, like, you know, just does the job. No complaints. And that's the cousin, Shield Slicer, and she's probably like the Joker of the whole team. And Francis, like Plasma Fist. Yeah, the code names. Yeah, he's the youngest one. He's actually like the brightest one with gadgets and tech and all that. And also, since he's the youngest one, he's a bit of got the horn going on a bit. But you know, so
bit of the
just
horn
going
on,
around a bit, just to, like, you know, just to put him in line.
Right.
But yeah, it's kind of like a future military kind of action pack manga / comic. So it's going to be a lot of action, and the body count's going to be pretty high. That's
yeah. Oh, it looks awesome, man. The artwork.
Okay.
So where are people going to be able to purchase BladeWhip?
Well, it's Shane just got 20 copies sent from me, so you can get it on ComX Shop.
Okay.
But you know, like if you follow me just like on Twitter or Instagram, or you know, or even DeviantArt, like, you know, like I will post like I'm doing like a con here and there or some appearance, like you know, if you're in the area, like do come in, just buy straight off me. Like I still got copies of Zenyaku left, and I'm actually still selling my very first comic, all you can read. Like I actually still keep that in a zine quality, and it's crummy. It's really, the art's really ratty, and the whole thing's kind of like experimental and a bit messy, but I still like keeping it there. Like that's my start, that's my roots. It's an autobiographic comic, and yeah, just like because I still actually get some interest from that.
Got some charm.
Yeah, I just had a look too. BladeWhip is available right now on the ComX Shop, ComX.shop, and only $6. So I mean, a bargain at twice the price. So that's
I'm actually like selling it purposely a bit cheap, just because like I don't know if people have entered like the comic shops lately, but last time I went there, like there was some comics there like that are like 28 or 32 pages, and they want like $13 to $15, and I'm just like, that's pretty outrageous, dude.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm just bringing back reasonable prices.
Yeah,
just to like you know, like just to get it out there, but you know, like have a bit more value for money.
Yeah. How many pages is it, Shaun?
It's well, it's 28 pages, but it's technically 24.
Yep.
Like the actual story itself is 20 pages long because like I was going through the G'day Punch guidelines. Like you had to have a story which is either 2 to 19 pages long, including like a title page.
Yep.
Okay.
So pretty much like yeah, it's that, and I did a 4-page intro, and pretty much like the other pages is just like the sketchbook, and pretty much do that geek poster too, like where it originally came from.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I know a bloke who's been watching before that he'll be happy for you with those price checks, mate, because our old mate Dave Dyer likes to keep an eye on things, you know, like when it comes to quality and price checking and stuff like that. So Dave, bargain, mate. And I bet you the next time we talk to Dave, he'll have one of them in his portal, mate. You know?
Yeah. And Dave, some people are charging $6 just for an ash can with a signature on it. So Dave's a bargain, cool comic. That's me. The best bit now, Shaun, I don't know if this is genius, like if you planned this, but being a $6 comic on the ComX Shop. Now, we talk about this all the time, $9 flat shipping rate. So it's in everyone's best interest at the ComX Shop to fill the box. And seriously, if you're at the checkout and there's a $6 comic, that's just a no-brainer. It's just like, chuck it in. I'll grab one more. So that's some genius marketing right there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's just because like it's a short. I see it as a bit of a short kind of self-contained story, but you know, like so it's pretty much black and white. The whole freak through, so it's like, you know, like I'm not gonna like charge like a ridiculous amount of top dollar for something that's just like black and white.
I know just about it.
You know, especially like with certain prices these days when you can buy a manga for the same price of $15, and that's like 200 pages.
Yeah. So BladeWhip 2, is that percolating in your head already, or? I'm
actually doing the thumbnails, and it probably, well, the second BladeWhip story is probably, I do have the choice of like splitting it into 3 issues, or probably just like release it as just one whole flat, big little comic, which is probably going to be 70, 80 pages long.
Nice.
But you know, like that, I'll have to probably flip a coin for that.
No, I reckon it's great, man.
Especially like the way how the stories are. Like, I don't know if you ever read Grendel, or you even know the book Grendel.
The Matt Wagner one.
Yes. Yeah, that's actually another comic I've stuck with for a long time. And you know how with Grendel, like you have the story on the original Grendel, but then all of a sudden the next series that comes out like is focused on a different Grendel in the future, or then another one's probably back in the past. But you know, like they're all like different Grendels, and some are just like side characters in that. Like it's kind of all over the place, but after a while, like you start to realize, like you start piecing it all together, and it actually starts to fit. Especially like now, like if you get the whole Grendel series like released like from Dark Horse, even though reading it through its releases date, you end up clicking like how everything's all connected, despite the stories just going all over the place. They're actually self-contained stories, but they're still connected to the actual whole story in one.
Yeah.
And at the moment, like it's gone to the future again, but it looks like that's the only path they can go at the moment, because every other story he's done back in the past and the present's pretty much been told.
Cool. So just going back to you and Ryan used to live in Mackay.
Yeah.
What else is important about Mackay? There's an event happening this weekend.
Yes, indeed. I'm actually. It's the Mackay PopCon, and that's actually happening this Saturday. It starts at 9 o'clock and it finishes around 4:30, and I'm actually going in there doing a launch for BladeWhip.
Yep. Awesome.
And just to let other creators out there know, like, there's all these other little popcons and stuff that are happening around like smaller towns. Like there's, one in Townsville, one in Bundaberg. There's another one in Rock Canyon, which I'll be doing like down in September, and one in Gladstone. I'm pretty sure there's probably one probably around Geelong or somewhere around Newcastle, somewhere like that. Like maybe we should like try and get a list of every con happening and just like list them up and just like probably like just for all the other creators like to have a look and just like I might have a go into this one or go to that one and just try your luck there with smaller places. There, the people that are those fans of the comics, the manga, the pop culture, and all that, and those small towns, they're pretty starved for that kind of stuff, and like they can't always go to like the capital cities all the time, but like they settle for that anyway. And you got people like me and Brad Daniels and just like other creators, like I pretty much recommend to go apply for those kind of cons and just see how well you go there. You'll get some support there one way or another, I'm sure.
Yeah. I've heard they're pretty good. Someone was telling me the Melbourne one even
like, I'm pretty sure like even the local comic shop there, like if you get to meet them, they might even stock your comic there for you if you just ask them nicely and just like negotiate with them.
Yeah, I think you're right with the Mackay comic shop, mate, because bringing him up again, I'm pretty sure that Ryan has gone and put his comics in there, mate, like for people to get and stuff.
Yeah, that guy actually has put in a couple of like local Australian stuff here and there, just like when he gets his hands on that. Probably like if I get to run into him, if I got the time, like I'll try and convince him to sell some of my books.
Sweet.
Yep. No, that's awesome, mate. That's awesome. I'm really happy that you're out and about, mate, and you got your comic book ready to rock and roll. It's in the ComX Shop. It's hot off the presses. It's got you all over it, mate. And I know it is your comic book, but if you do want a taste of Shaun's stuff, get it, because the man can draw, and it's from what I've seen of it, it looks damn good, and I'll be getting that in my next nuclear packet from nuclear proof packet from Sis, mate, in the ComX Shop.
Well, there was a fair bit of study of manga went into this as well, especially like I was actually going through like Fist of the North Star and Gantz stuff, just like really like looking at it, and and Gigante Maxia, just with their motion speed lines and certain impacts, and or even Battle Angel Alita, just like with their fight scenes, just like really like taking notice and how it's delivered.
Yeah,
cool.
That was one of my main appeals. Like I find with manga, just because like with superhero comics, especially back in the 90s, like I did try reading some of them, but I didn't really go off on them too much because when I read them, like it was just cluttered with words, especially like when they're doing these battles and like you get this pretty huge picture, but then it's just like they're just so much monologuing or pretty much these speeches just for this one panel. Then you go to this other panel, and it's like the speech is still going, and I just find that terrible. It just puts me off. Like Spider-Man is really notorious for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, man,
but, like in the manga stuff that I was reading, like Gunsmith Cats and Battle Angel Alita, like one of the first few ones I've gone, just like none of that crap. It was just more like just like they just got in, duked it out. If there was probably like a little pause here and there, and just like where you're probably thinking that it's like, okay, freaking, I've got to think about my next move or something, or maybe there's like a little insult in there, then they just go back into the fight again.
Yeah. Have you ever checked out a comic book called Blade of the Immortal?
Yeah, I will admit I didn't go off on that very much.
Mm.
It was just because like it was just how it was printed.
Yeah.
Back at the time, they still haven't fixed it because when manga was getting first released, like they were like mirror printing it. So you know how they read from like the right to left, they mirror image it, so you can read it from left to right. But then you kind of like notice like, why is everyone left-handed for? And there'll be some things like they'd be written backwards, and they didn't take much notice of it. Like, good thing that's kind of stopped now, and it's also brought down the price as well. But you know, like with Blade and Immortal, like the creator didn't like that, and he just wanted the cut and paste method. So like they'd have to cut up the page and just like stick it around. But there were times like they'd actually would have to mirror image the print as well. So it was a bit of a mess.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, I can see that
like
now looking back on it.
They still haven't fixed that problem. So it's just it's a bit lazy.
Yeah, I love the artwork though, man. That was the first one when you're talking about action lines and stuff and using the momentum and things like that. That's the first comic book of manga that I looked at and was like, wow, okay, I'm digging the motion thing and how panels, you know, like we're all, you know, they weren't straight lines. Yeah, you know, I totally understand it, man. The ebb and the flows and stuff like that, using it. Yeah, but no, I did read about that. He wasn't very happy with the reprints of that. So I ploughed on through though, man. I got a couple of I think let me get to about 100 issue 140 or something. I got quite a few of them. I was sucked right into it, to be honest with you. Oh man,
I actually like the Lone Wolf and Cub better, actually.
Oh, dude, mate, don't get me started on Lone Wolf and Cub. You know how many volumes of that I have and have read, man, voraciously, and you know the little reprints that are that big and like this huge. Oh.
Yeah, I got 28 volumes too, and then there's the new Lone Wolf and Cub, which is about his son, that went for about 11 volumes as well. I got that too.
Yeah, that's some beautiful stuff too, man. Yeah, 100%. I believe that's the long. Now, someone can correct me, but I think that's the longest writer and artist duo doing the ever in the history of comics, man. From memory, from a little tidbit. Yeah, they did. They worked together for like 30 odd 40 years or something until one of them passed away.
Mm.
Yeah.
Shane's not here to Google it, so we'll just have to assume that you're right.
Well, we'll have to check on that because, like, there is that One Piece that's like gone for so long. Like, it's well over 100 volumes, I'm sure, and I think they said like roughly around volume 115 or 120. They said, we think we're kind of halfway there now or some shit. And it's just like, oh god, is there going to be like 300 volumes or some shit, or just for One Piece? Like, that's just been going for years.
Lifetime, mate.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool as.
Well, what do you think? Or should we give the book one more spiel and remind folks where to get it and all that good stuff?
Yeah, I'll put us back to normal.
So, you know, the comic book is what? BladeWhip.
Yeah.
And it is the ComX Shop is fully stocked and ready to ship. Yeah, I don't know, Shaun. Do you have like a little can you give us a tagline? Can you give us? Have you got a little?
No, I'll just pretty much say, like, also, if you're in the Mackay area or there's anybody from Mackay watching this, I'll be appearing at the Mackay PopCon on that Saturday. This Saturday coming. Feel free to come in and say hello, buy a copy of BladeWhip. I'll have copies of Zenyaku and as well, and my all you can read. Plus, I'll actually also have a couple of Brad Daniels books on sale as well. I'll be bringing his Alpha Sprites of Tara. His tales to student tell, and he's Infinite Aussie.
Oh, nice. Good laugh.
Well, and pretty much I also do like small little paintings as there as well. Just like like if you like what you see, feel free to purchase and stuff.
Well, congratulations, Shaun, on a sweet looking book. Can't wait to get my hands on it and my eyes around it. Thank you for having me on the cover too. Getting to play.
I will have to apologise to Spedsy. Like when I took it to Brad to get it converted into the PDF format, like when we put it all together, then I'm just like, wait a minute, I didn't credit Spedsy.
Okay.
So we're just like, me and Brad we just had this brain fart. It's like, what's his real name again?
That's why I have it here.
Just put in Spedsy. Everyone just knows that nickname, Spedsy. It's like, yeah, that's pretty cool. So you're not properly credited, but
Oh, so Spedsy's written in there. Oh, well, that's all right.
Yeah, but Spedsy. Is that okay?
That's totally fine. I'll accept it. No, it's cool. Can't wait to read it. So head on over to the ComX Shop. One thing to remember too, Shaun, is you might go, I haven't sold any copies yet. Often people wait for one or two more. Once Amazing Tales or something drops, then they're like, oh, now I can almost fill a box. And there are a few regular customers to the shop who once there's 2 or 3 books, then they stock up. So yeah, that's a definite stocking stuffer, book filler, box filler. So yeah, congratulations on the new book.
Thank you guys.
Yeah,
100%, mate. Job well done. And second with Spedsy. Congratulations. I know what it feels like. We all do about getting your hands on a new book. No better feeling.
It was pretty tough, but it was actually still pretty enjoyable. Actually working on it.
Oh,
I think it's pretty much fun, like doing those speed lines, motion lines. Actually,
yeah.
I was kind of dreading it at the start, but thanks to the bendable ruler, I actually had some fun with it.
Oh,
that's beautiful.
Hey Lee, do you want to remind people maybe what they should do when it comes to?
Well, you need to like and subscribe all of the channels. That's one thing you need to do, because that helps out the algorithms and gets more people to the channel and gets more eyes on people like Shaun and those sorts of eyes. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Angry says.
Angry says,
but marketing. That's sizzling.
Yeah.
But it does help artists and creators like Shaun basically to get their work out there and stuff. And from watching the show tonight, you can see he's got a new comic out that he's proud of and should be very proud of. A lot of work's gone into it, as he said.
Pretty much there'll be other creators who probably like to do comic book launches in the future. So probably keep your eye out for that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
More than happy, mate. More than happy. And don't forget, if anyone's watching the Mackay, what did you say it was? The PopCon this weekend, mate? Saturday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Plenty of creators down there. Shaun will be there with his brand new book, so duck in there. I'm pretty sure he'd be happy to sign a copy here and there, wouldn't you, mate?
Yeah. Just on another note too, in 2 weeks' time on that weekend, Brisbane will be having their Comic Street.
Comic Street.
Jane will be there, Brad Daniels will be there. There'll be a fair bit of Brisbane creators, and it's all just focused on original comic content. No fan art, no all that supernova tackiness. Dare say that. Just but it just focuses on the artist alley without the popular pop culture. It's just mainly just creators just showing their own thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yep, I'll be there.
All right. Well, I think we did it.
We did it.
We did it. Well done, Shaun.
Yeah,
Beautiful
well,
button, mate.
Thank you all for just having me and just
Pleasure,
doing
man.
a little pre-launch, a little party interview. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Pleasure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with Mackay. Hope it goes really well. The official launch of BladeWhip.
Yeah,
And
thank you very much.
I guess that's us for the night. Thank you, everyone who watched. Thank you, everyone who watches it for the rest of the week and so forth. And we shall see you at the next ComX, whatever we're doing.
that name again is Mr. Plow.
Check out comx.cx for all things ComX and find out what ComX is all about. We hope you enjoyed the show.